Hi, it's Robin. I was looking around Amazon, as one does, and I don't know how it was, but this book was recommended to me. Actually doesn't say the, Beginner's Guide to Coding with Commodore 64 by Gia.S. Corona. And so I thought, oh, interesting, a book about Commodore 64 programming I hadn't heard of before. And I think it had a copyright date of 2023. Quite recent. I was intrigued, It's exciting to me that people would still be writing new books about coding the Commodore 64. But when I looked at it, I thought it was a little bit weird that they have a picture of what looks like probably an original IBM PC. Is that model 5150 on the cover? So I put in my shopping cart, and as you can see, I bought it. But there's more to it. On the back, it has a picture of, some sort of classic Mac. So that's a bit strange. But actually, before I actually purchased it, it was in my shopping cart. Then another book was recommended to me, which I happen to have here. The Ultimate Coding Manual for Commodore 64 by Misty C. Tate. And the cover has some guy, it's kind of like hands. He's got a head though, not like me. He's kind of like right hand typing on this keyboard over here. He's got a laptop there. I don't know, is that Misty? And what's on the back here? Now he's using his left hand on the computer over here, and what looks like a MacBook is over here on the left. Misty's really serious about coding here, got two keyboards on the go, and you always kind of use it cross-handed. That's the sign of a real professional. So, anyway, I added that to my cart. Obviously, you can see I bought that too. But it continues. Books kept getting recommended to me, and like a total sucker, I had to have them all. Here's Commodore 64 Coding, The Definitive Guide by Mercy C. McGregor. And there's all kinds of digits or characters on the cover. Now this is really serious. This is kind of like Matrix kind of stuff here. Wow. And would you look at it? There's another one. The Beginner's Guide to C64 Coding Mastery. This is the Beginner's Guide to Being a Master. Look, it's by Maximilian O. Edge. And that has some definitely C64 looking code on it there. That's a .air. What is that, JavaScript or something? Well, that must be what happens if you really master C64 coding. Are those giant coffee beans on top of some code? Okay, you get the idea. Sure, one more. Ultimate C64 Coding Handbook for Beginners by Lila M. Hardy. And again, look, it's like some kind of laptop. Got some code there on the screen. And a left hand. Some kind of paper there. I think it says agreement. So, yes, I bought 5 of these books. I guess it's just a coincidence that they're all the same size. But it's amazing that 5 different people would all choose to write new Commodore 64 programming books in 2023. I think the copyright date for every one of them is 2023. Okay, so I can't wait. We haven't done a book club video for a while. So look, we got 5 books to go through. Let's get going. Okay, so let's start with the first one here. The Beginner's Guide to Coding. Beginner's Guide to Coding by Gia.S. Corona. Not at all suspicious. All rights reserved. Copyright 2023. Okay, here we go. It's got some funny, helpful tips. Stay proactive in customer engagement. It builds brand loyalty. Cultivate a heart of gratitude. It transforms your perspective and amplifies life's blessings. Truly, words to live by as we begin our Commodore 64, what was this one again? The Beginner's Guide to Coding with Commodore 64. Oh, and here's the full title. Look, they couldn't fit all on the cover. Beginner's Guide to Coding with Commodore 64. Unlock the secrets of Commodore 64 Programming, your essential step-by-step handbook for mastering coding as a beginner. And it's got some life advices. In the forest of opportunities, carve out your path with determination and vision. Stay committed to ethical practices. They enhance brand reputation and trust. There is so much wisdom in this. I just can't wait to get to the Commodore 64 part here. Okay, this is a comprehensive guide tailored for individuals new to coding on the C64 computer. Oh, I thought this was just about the Commodore 64 that looks kind of like an IBM PC. Is designed to provide a systematic introduction to the fundamentals of coding, gradually progressing from basic keyboard functions and navigation to more advanced programming concepts, including graphics, animation, sound effects, and music composition. Okay, and the guide begins with a thorough explanation of the keyboard layout, highlighting essential keys and their functionality such as return, shift, shift lock, and various other keys crucial for programming on the C64. It also covers important commands like clear, home, and restore. Are those commands? Clear, home, enabling users to become familiar with the foundational aspects of the C64's interface. Okay. And as users progress, they are introduced to the concept of programming on the C64, learning to create their first program, and gaining insights into listing, editing, saving, and loading programs from virtual disks. Okay. The guide also provides comprehensive coverage of advanced programming techniques such as loops, decision-making structures, memory management with poke and peek. All right. Furthermore, the guide offers a detailed exploration of sound programming on the C64, focusing on creating sound effects, music, and chords. Okay. It also covers the integration of special effects to further enrich the overall user experience. Okay, toward the end, the guide provides an overview of various display options, demonstrating how to draw backgrounds, play music, create animated sprites, and implement flashing borders, accumulating the creation of a fully functional main program. Additionally, it includes a comprehensive appendix covering the ASCII character set, well, not the PETSCII character set, and error messages commonly encountered during the coding process. Okay. Overall, this book serves as an invaluable resource for individuals looking to develop a strong foundational understanding of coding on the C64, offering a structured and comprehensive approach to mastering the intricacies of programming on this platform. Ooh, okay, so here's the contents. Finally, the keyboard. Well, look at that. Each broken out. All right, it has restore. Oh, I want a whole chapter on run stop, or stop, as some people call it. Lesson 1, getting started, classic mode, blank virtual disk. Lesson 2, your first program. Lesson 3, building blocks. Okay, so error messages. Lesson 4 is input and output, formatting your output. Loops, go-to loops, for next, decisions, poke and peek. Character graphics, animation, databank, sprite graphics. Ooh, quite a few subsections there. Lesson 12, sounds and special effects. Lesson 13, some more randomness. I don't remember there being any randomness before that, but okay. Lesson 14, subroutines. Lesson 15, put it all together. Oh, and it has Appendix A and Appendix C. Well, seems to be missing Appendix B. Okay, well, the keyboard. All right, so there's a diagram. Yeah, and this is not a regular Commodore 64. This is the C64 by Retro Games. which I've done reviews of before. I actually even worked on it a bit, but I didn't know that this book was about it. All right, so diagram goes through. So this is truly some pretty beginner stuff. Right up about each key, clear home, restore, the C64. So here's how to switch to classic mode. Obviously this is very much the C64 centric because it boots up to this main menu where you select the games, and from there you can choose to have it boot into regular classic mode, the famous blue screen. Change the default mode. So this is more about using the C64 by Retro Games. Okay, your first program. Well, it has a hello world there. That looks okay. Okay, press the run stop key to force your program to stop. Well, you could just call it the stop key. Hello, Perth. Perth, Western Australia. Hello. I lived there in 1987. Okay, and how to save Hello World to disk. So, obviously I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. Just get an idea of what's in here. Building blocks. Displaying text. Colors. So, all this part seems pretty solid. It's got some diagrams here. Take the most significant bit of each 9-bit X coordinate. Some sprite programming. Lesson 12, sounds and special effects. So yeah, there's a big section here on sprites. Ooh, those are nice. Jet plane, some kind of tank. Attack, decay, sustain, release. This is in the sound section. Okay, sound frequency table. It says PAL frequency. Okay, I guess us NTSC people have to figure it out for ourselves. So I guess Gia.S Corona must be somebody in PAL land. Some sound effects. A laser gun. Bird chirping. Some of these might be lifted right from the C64 User's Guide. Music and chords. Some more randomness. Okay, it says we did briefly look at the random statement. I must have missed that one. Actually seems like an accurate one, that you give the random statement, depends on the parameter. If it's positive, gives you the next number in the predetermined sequence. Random with a negative number, jump to the position in the sequence specified by this particular negative number. That's almost accurate. And random 0 generates a random number based on the value of the internal clock, but it's limited because it only produces digits from 0 to 60. Yeah. That's actually fairly correct. Okay, and then there's some sort of more advanced game here. It looks like a TIE fighter or something. Put it all together. We have explored a range of amazing things that you can now program your own Commodore 64 to do. Using what we have learned so far, we are going to create something that will bring together user input, colors, character graphics, music, and sprites in one modular program. Okay. So I'm trying to keep moving because, this is just one book. We got to get through 4 more. Play music. Oh, some kind of dancing girl or something. Draw, dance, sprite. Draw, dance, sprite. Sprite 1 data. Titling the subroutine Draw, Dance, Sprite reminds me so much of that, what was it? That fortress, the castle. Oh, what's it called? I did like this 2-hour video about a novel that features Commodore 64 programming quite a bit in it. Oh yeah, so the book was called The Impossible Fortress, and it had some very naive code that would label a subroutine draw a sprite, but you don't really use basic code to draw a sprite. What you do is you define a sprite. In BASIC, it's usually a bunch of data statements, which you then read from the data statements, poke them into memory, and then you tell the VIC where that sprite definition is in memory, the VIC2, the video chip. You tell it where the sprite's graphic definition is in memory, and then it does the drawing at the appropriate location. So you don't really have basic code to draw a sprite. You have basic code that instructs the VIC on how and where to draw the sprite. It's kind of an important distinction that novel didn't make, and so I kind of tore into it because it's just very inefficient code. And this is giving hints of it, like draw down sprite, tells you where the video chip is. Okay, it's going to read it. Why would it just read it? So it's sort of like it's fast forwarding, I guess, through a bunch of bytes here. I guess I realize I'm just jumping in partway through here. Read it, then poke it into memory at 832 and also at 896. So it's poking the same sprite into memory twice. Okay, so this seems very strange. So I should analyze more of the program before I can actually pronounce that. Removing the sprite here. Okay, the main program. Now our dancer is ready to go. All right, so there's the program. Brought to you by Rich Stalls, the retro tech guy, and your name. Who's Rich Stalls? I thought this was by Gia. Okay. Okay, so here's Appendix A, the ASCII character set. Where? Oh, here. Okay. 0 through 18 character codes. Then 128 through 146 and a blank page. Oh, here's another page. 19. What? Okay, so here's 19 through 41. I guess every second page they're printing one of the columns. Yeah, it ends at 41. Okay, so I wasn't paying very close attention here. Yeah, it's actually 4 columns. I guess the different widths were throwing me off there. But it goes from 0 to 18, 64 to 82, 128, 20, and 46, and 192 to 210. Skips a page. And then it goes 19 through 41. Just, I don't know, this is bad editing, I guess. Okay, Appendix B. This is what was skipped in the table of contents. Screen memory codes. So 0 through 19. And 60, it's the same strange kind of formatting. But this time there is only 2 columns per page. Well, they're doing double duty because the screen codes, the second number is adding 128, and that's the reversed bitmap image where all the 0 pixels become 1 and all the 1s become 0. So it's just condensing that. Okay, I don't know why it's on every second page. Appendix C, error messages. Oh, okay. And this looks like it was totally just copied from the C64 user's guide, because it has this bad data error, and that's a mistake that was in the C64 user's guide. My very first 8-bit show and tell video ever, how many years ago was that now? 6 or 7? I went through every single error, and this bad data does not exist in the Commodore 64 or the VIC-20. It's actually a carryover. Just the early pets had a bad data error and they got rid of it. So I made a whole video about all these errors, but that was one of the ones I brought up. So anyway, this is just kind of like a copy and paste from the user's guide without any error checking and without watching my video. Shock. Okay, there. We've looked through the whole thing. There's that Mac at the back. Whew. Okay, so I guess my opinion of this is it seems kind of okay, but there's weird formatting stuff. There's some kind of lazy copy and paste, and then there's all that bizarre advice at the beginning. Okay, how long is this video going to be? Like 3 hours if I go through all these books? Okay, so do I recommend this? Well, it was 20 bucks Canadian. I guess it'd be like, what, 13, 14, 15 US on Amazon.com. I don't know. You could waste your money in worse ways, I guess. Okay, next up we have the Ultimate C64 Coding Handbook for Beginners. This one by Layla .M. Hardy. Okay, the Ultimate C64 Coding Book for Beginners. Oh yeah, 2023. There was something in the water, I guess, in 2023. Everybody thought, oh, white balance. Do I even? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, funny, helpful tips. Incorporate practices that support mental clarity. They enhance focus and decision making. Oh, imagine that. Maintain a culture of accountability. It ensures responsibility and results. Well, okay, thanks for the funny, helpful tips. This is the previous book. Well, they're different funny, helpful tips, but most books don't open with funny, helpful tips. That's a coincidence. Maybe the authors took some sort of course on this is like the optimal way to write your book. Oh, look, and a full title. Ultimate C64 Coding Handbook for Beginners, the complete guide to mastering C64 coding for novices unveil the secrets of retro gaming programming with ease. Wow, this book has a really long full title as well. Life advices. Stay open-minded. Even if you disagree with a book's premise, there's value in understanding different viewpoints. Stay committed to value addition. It differentiates you from competitors. Okay, well, let's get down to the Commodore 64 coding now. Ultimate C64 Coding Introduction. This coding course is designed for beginners, offering step-by-step instructions on coding for the C64, a classic computer. It begins by introducing you to the keyboard, its various keys, helping you get familiar with the essential controls. Wait a second. Introduction. Okay, well, they are different introductions. They are not exactly the same words. And I mean, they're on different pages, as you would expect from two different authors writing two completely different books. Poke and peek commands become valuable tools for manipulating memory, changing colors and controlling the cursor's position. Data banks and sprite graphics take your coding skills to the next level. Okay, well, this is different. Okay, finally, the course provides resources such as the ASCII character set and a collection of error messages to aid in your coding journey. Well, I'm starting to get a little suspicious. Compare the table of contents here. They both end on correcting mistakes, page 38. Okay, well, is that a coincidence? Okay. Oh, and look, Appendix B is overlooked again. the keyboard. Well, they moved the diagram to the left page instead. Okay, so this all looking about the same, eh? Yeah, there's our sound table, PAL frequency. Less than 15 put all together. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. Well, I think this is all... Oh yeah, there's our dancer. That we're going to poke into memory. There we go. Ooh, again, brought to you by Rich Stulls, the retro tech guy. Well, oh yeah, and here's our tables again with blank pages. And here's our error messages. Bad data on the left side. Well, okay, maybe that second book wasn't the best use of my money, but surely The Beginner's Guide to C64 Coding Mastery by Maximilian. This one's going to be, I bet this one's going to be awesome. Okay. Ooh, it's got some funny, helpful tips. Engage with literature that promotes resilience. Life's challenges are easier faced with inner strength and wisdom. Incorporate activities that promote lymphatic drainage. They support detoxification and immune function. Okay, everybody, that's the takeaway today. Incorporate activities that promote lymphatic drainage. Oh, and just, here's the full title, Beginner's Guide to C64 Coding Mastery, Unlock the Secrets of C64 Coding, the ultimate step-by-step guide for beginners to master programming effortlessly. Life advices, practice self-love. It's the foundation for loving others. Practice. In the galaxy of experiences, shine brightly, illuminating the path for others. That is good advice. Okay, so here we are again, the C64, with yet another variation on what this book is going to show you. And then there's the contents again. Correcting mistakes. Appendix A, Appendix C. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all the same. Well, I'm starting to get a little cynical. I'll be you guys hang in there. Commodore 64 Coding, The Definitive Guide by Mercy.C. McGregor. 2023. Funny, helpful tips. Life's compass points in many directions. Follow the one that aligns with your heart's true north. Stay proactive in revisiting your reading goals as you evolve. As you evolve, so might your literary interests and needs. Yes. And the full title, Commodore 64 Coding, The Definitive Guide, Unlock the Secrets of Commodore 64 Programming with this comprehensive and indispensable book. Oh, handbook. Yeah. Life's melody is a song of experiences. Sing it with heart and soul. Celebrate differences. They add richness to the relationship. Well, by reading the life advices, I am celebrating the differences in this book that I bought compared to all the other books that I bought, because this is about the only difference. Okay, this is another one of the left-handed ones here. Lesson 9, animation. There's that Jap. Okay. I'm sick of this, but, since I spent $20 on it, we're going to look at the Ultimate Coding Manual for Commodore 64 by Misty.C. Tate. Yeah, I was a bit suspicious of these, but I did not expect that I would be buying the same book 5 times with only some really extremely I didn't expect I'd be buying the same book 5 times with the only difference being these funny, helpful tips. Stay committed to lifelong learning about health. New research and findings emerge regularly. Your journey is a testament to your spirit's strength. Okay, this is my journey. Honor each challenge and victory. Okay, you're joining me in this journey. And here's the full title. Ultimate Coding Manual for Commodore 64. Master the Art of Programming on the Classic Gaming Computer with the Ultimate Commodore 64 Coding Guide. The title says Ultimate Commodore 64 twice. Life advices: stay connected with the fitness community. Shared goals and support can be motivating. Cultivate emotional intelligence. It is key to personal and professional success. Yeah. If I had any emotional intelligence, I probably wouldn't have bought 5 copies of the same book. Okay, and the C64 and all that. I guess these are each customized. Yes, AI. I wonder if there's more. Like I bought the 5 I found. There's probably more of these. And there's all the same stuff. Sprite graphics. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the hand one. Something about this cover feels a little familiar. Wonder what it is. Okay. Well, that was a disappointment. Those mentions of rich stalls in those screenshots got me looking into it. And so I spent even more money. And this arrived. Beginners Step by Step, the C64 Computer Coding Course. The C64 edition by Rich Stalls. And as it says on the back, you've gone and bought yourself your The C64 Maxi and played a bunch of games while reliving the glory days of 8-bit home computing in the 80s. If you are now asking yourself what's next, this book is for you. Today, I guess that's Rich, work in a global education technology company. My background in computer science means that I've been able to create computer programs for a wide range of industries, from web-based information tracking systems for mining companies to immersive first-person educational simulators for paramedics and nurses. Being able to code has opened a wide world of creative expression for me. I started programming when I was 10 years old. Okay, hey, well, so did I, more or less. Those of you wanting to teach your kids how to program, or your nieces or nephews or whatever, 10 years old really does seem to be optimal, by the way. Really bright 8 or 9-year-olds might be able to get it, but I've had a fair bit of experience with this, and 10 is when things really start to click for most kids, if they're ever going to really take to programming. Anyway, that's my side. My parents bought me a brand new Commodore 64 for my birthday. I spent hours playing Boulder Dash, Pit Stop 2, and Ace of Aces However, it was when I found a copy of the step-by-step programming guide in my local library that my love of the Commodore 64 was cemented. I was no longer limited to interacting with my computer in the way that someone else had decided. I was now able to make my computer do what I wanted. It now displayed the text and images I constructed. It played the sounds and music I created. Suddenly, a whole new world had opened up before me, and I was its creator. This step-by-step coding course for the C64 is based on the way that I first learned to code my Commodore 64. You will learn to code using basic, beginner's all-purpose symbolic construction code, growing your skills and knowledge until you're able to create a fully fledged program, complete with user input, animated graphics, music, and more. This coding course is written especially for the C64 Maxi. That is just the C64, the full size, not the mini. But Maxi is being a popular nickname for it. However, it will work on the original Commodore 64 too, if you have one. This course is full of straightforward information given in easy-to-digest, bite-sized pieces. Each part builds on the ones before it. There is computer jargon, but it's jargon you will understand as you make your way through it. Is learning to code the C64 essential to enjoying it? No. Will it help you understand and engage with it more? I hope so. Could this lead to a new and amazing career direction? Definitely, if that's what you want. Okay, so what we have here, it's up front about it being about the C64. Okay, so this is copyright 2020. It's a bit blown out there, eh? White balance, will I ever? More resources if you've bought yourself that. Okay, so contents. Okay, well, there's a table of contents that looks sort of similar, but without all the subpoints. I do note that it has Appendix A, B, and C. It's not missing B, but they do seem to match what we saw in all those previous books. Introduction. Okay, well, that's what I just read off the back cover. Ooh, here's that diagram. And you'll notice that it's in color. But it really does seem that those other books just totally... So while these books here have the keyboard split up off over here, you can see that's clearly the same diagram the original book had in color. And this is on page 6, while this, I'm going to start calling these the pirate ones, the fake scam ones. That's page 2 and it's page 6 in the original here. Okay, and going through each key, Rich has put a bit more effort into it. It's actual photos of the keys here. The return key, cursor keys, Ints Del. So this all does seem much better, you know. The original, thankfully, does seem to be better. I do wish it would just be called, you know, like it's the delete key, right? It's not the Ints Del. Yes, it says Ints Del on it, but the thing on top is what you get when you shift it. Like the 1 key, do you always call it the !1 key? Or do you just call it the 1 key, right? You get what's at the bottom part of the key when you press it, and you hold down shift, and you get what's above it. But you just refer to it by what it says below. Anyway, it's okay. I'll get over it. The control key. Yeah, okay, well, you see all this color here. Now, this book is more expensive. It was almost 40 Canadian. So I don't know, that'll probably be about 30 US or something like that. But of course, doing this kind of print on demand or limited run in what seems, I don't know if it's full color, but, you know, lots of color, it just is more expensive. That's how it goes. The whole book makes a lot more sense when the very title is about coding the C64, right? Like that's why it has so much the C64 content. Blank virtual disk. So yeah, it's nice how all the titles have been made in this font. Is that the Commodore 64 font? Hello, Perth. Okay. Rich, are you from Perth? Oh no, there's Los Angeles. Who knows? Change colors, okay. Yeah, so whether or not this is a really good book, this still seems like a fairly well-written book that, if you're looking for some sort of easier guide, I don't think I'd not recommend it. Okay, and even you can see that the sprite graphics, that chart looks a lot better with all the fine details and the shading or the color bars. Sprite positions. Ooh, look at the nice diagrams for the sound. Okay, we gotta compare that. Okay, so yeah, just all the formatting's being changed. I guess the diagrams did just get stolen, but of course were turned into, just turned into black and white or shaded. And here the ADSR is color coded, like green for attack, red for decay, blue or purple or whatever for sustain, and orange or something for release. That's nicer than just the black and white. Sound waveforms. So anyway, yeah, much more nicely laid out. Okay, so that bit about putting it all together here. Helper functions. Play a beep sound. Okay, what are we saying here? Draw a background routine. Needs to display the background that our dancing sprite will be placed on. Play music. Okay, so the routine to play the music, I guess the idea is that it plays the music from the data statements. And then that's why later, when we get to this bit here, here's our dancing girls. Yeah, so it does explain here that the reason it skips over all that other data is because that was the tune data, the music data, and you need to skip past them to get to the sprites. Okay. And then the reason for doing the double poke here in 14, says 1440 and 1550, but I think it should be in 1440 and 1450, not 1550. We read the first sprite data into memory location for both sprites because most of our second sprite data is identical to the first. So I guess it is just a 2-frame animation. It is poking it all into memory at once. And the duplication here is just because a lot of the data statements are actually identical. So it's just reducing the number of data statements. It's a bit of a size optimization there. Okay. Still seems wrong to me. Just funny it's the same as that Fortress book, but that we're not really drawing the dance sprites. But it doesn't seem like the code's actually wrong. Move the dance sprite. Okay. Oh yeah, and here we are. Appendix A, the ASCII character set. I still think it's more correct to call it PETSCII or Commodore ASCII or something like that. It isn't ASCII. It's not the American standard. It has been modified by Commodore. So just calling it ASCII doesn't seem to correct to me, but that's okay. It does have all the characters here. I don't notice any obvious errors. It's nice that there isn't a blank page between each one. It's a little weird having the charts spread out here where it goes to 18, then 19 to 41, then up to 63, and then you go back, but I guess it's not that bad. And the screen memory codes. I can't think of anything to complain about there. And yeah, we see that indeed the original, the bad data error does not exist. All right, so that's how much glare is there? There's more glare on the official book. Okay, so we looked at 6 books today. Here's the original. Of course, if you're going to want any of these books, I'd recommend this one's more expensive, but this is by the original author. And I do not think any of us should be supporting this pirate. I'm going to leave a negative review on all those books. And I'm actually going to try and get my money back from Amazon for at least, 4 out of the 5. I might keep this one with the hands or with the one with the IBM PC on the cover as a keepsake, but I really don't want 5 copies of this around the house. I'll see if Amazon will let me return it. I might do a little addendum here about that. So that's more than enough of that. Oh yeah, and all these books are exactly the same size, but I do note that this is a different factor. The original is a little bit more narrow and a little bit longer. And what does it have here? 175 pages or so, 175 numbered pages anyway. While these scam ones have 211, but they have all those unnecessary blank pages and all those wasted pages. What a world. Who would have thought that one day we would have all this great stuff, like, be able to do this kind of print on demand, making such professional looking books, just being a nobody. You'd think that would make the world a great place, but Misty.C. Tate and all Misty's friends instead are using it just to enable piracy of real books and just to go out and scam people and try to make a few dollars off stupid people like me. Presumably some AI was used in the scam. The main part of the book is a copy and paste, but there's a bit of original content, probably all AI generated at the beginning. So again, who knew when the future arrived, it would just kind of suck. But here we are. But that shouldn't stop us from still trying to do good stuff. And maybe if we all do our part, we can make the world a slightly better place. So I'm going to try and get my money back and warn some people not to buy these at the same time. So yeah, it's Robin from the future. I did go and review those books and gave it, of course, a 1-star review for each one. The title of the review, which I don't know why they ask it second, but it's at the bottom there. I titled the review Pirate Copy of a Real C64 Programming Book. And my little review is, this book is a poorly formatted copy and paste of Richard Stahl's book, Beginner's Step-by-Step The C64 Coding Course, with AI-generated titles and introductions to attempt to cover up the fact that it's a pirated scam. There are at least 5 variations of this book available. Avoid them all and buy the original. I submitted those, and it seems Amazon has accepted and published that review on all the books. I've had experience in the past where eBay, Amazon will not publish my review. They don't like it. They don't think it's appropriate. That kind of censorship does go on quite a bit. But anyway, in this case, at least, I'm glad that they accepted my review. At least they told me they did. And I did go ahead then and returned 4 of the books, or at least tried to return them. So you see, I left the middle one. One other interesting detail. All the books are slightly different prices. I guess that's part of the scam. So that, slightly different prices must be a different book. So you see $20.12, $20.08, $19.97, $19.94, and $19.74. Oh, I suppose if I was thinking, I would have returned the 4 most expensive books and kept the cheapest one, which was actually that IBM PC one. That was my second choice. Anyway, I kept the one with the hands, of course. Okay, when you do a return on Amazon, they make you choose, the reason for returning it, which is fine. But there's a whole bunch of reasons, but none of them are like, this is a pirated scam, or I bought 5 copies of the same book, but, they're all different authors' names and different titles purporting to be 5 unique books. So I wasn't sure which ones to choose out of all those choices. Inaccurate website description seemed about right. And the third option, performance or quality not adequate. So to kind of hedge my bets, I did 2 of each, like 2 inaccurate website descriptions, 2 performance or quality not adequate. And then I went through. So yeah, for the performance or quality, maximum of 200 character review is, this book is a pirated copy of Richard Stahl's book, Beginner's Step-by-Step The C64 Coding Course, with AI-generated title and introduction to hide this fact. To me, that means that is not high quality. An inaccurate website description, the title, cover, and description try to hide the fact that this is a pirated copy of Richard Stahl's book, with extra pages of AI-generated introduction. I'm saying it's an inaccurate website description. If it was actually truly accurate, it would say, this is a pirated copy of Richard Stahl's book, instead of trying to pretend to be a unique book. Oh yeah, and hilariously, I guess the ones I said inadequate performance, Amazon offered to replace it with the exact same item. And anyway, the other ones I just immediately chose. I did, of course, try to choose a refund for all of them. And they're supposedly going to pick it up here. This happened to my wife, where she tried to return multiple items, and the courier comes, and something about the communication between Amazon and the courier insisted they were only going to take 1 item, and not 1 box, no, 1 item, but we had scheduled multiple items. So just like that, I'm trying to return 4 books from 1 purchase, and I don't know if the courier is going to be willing to take all 4 books, or they're going to try and take just 1 book. Yeah, and then Amazon charges us, or won't refund, for the 3 that their own courier wouldn't pick up. So anyway, I don't know if Amazon straightened that out. We'll see tomorrow when they supposedly come to pick it up. Okay, back to Robin of the Present. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Thanks to Rich Stalls for writing the original. Sorry about the scammers. Thanks to my patrons for their support. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.
So I